Well, that's what we hear.
Speaking of money, did you know it's National Financial Capability Month?
Yes, we usually exchange gifts on it.
NFCM for short, if you can't remember all the words.
Right.
Apparently, it's the president's mission to make sure that everyone knows how to budget responsibly.
Just young people especially.
Well, he wants to teach them how to, let's see, help people make sound decisions in the marketplace, like budget responsibly for saving for college, starting a business, or opening a retirement account. The only problem is when you juxtapose that against how much the average amount every household is paying towards the national debt since he took office, which is $53,377 per household, some people might scratch their heads about budgeting responsibly.
Yeah, the irony is delicious when you know, $53,000 per household all across the United States of America, just since he's been president of the United States. The interesting thing is, while he's trying to teach us how to budget responsibly, that is to say, the president and his team actually have not submitted a budget to the Congress as is required. He's 2 months late. So maybe some guys in the West Wing should actually go onto their website to find out how to budget responsibly, because they're trying to teach us how to do it, but they're not doing it.
There are links to how to get the most out of your credit card on this website, and also how to
We're the credit card.
And also how to manage debt and credit. And sadly, the president's also on the record of saying, I am not going to hurt the budget by overemphasizing cutting down on our deficit, which has now gone up 53% since he went to the White House. So young people, do as I say, not as I do.
Exactly right. Meanwhile, we've heard from this administration that the economy is turning around. The Wall Street Journal took a look at a brand new Brookings Institute report, and what they found is that in the top 100 metropolitan areas in the United States, you know how many cities now have more jobs than before the recession? Out of the top 100? Only 14. And interestingly enough, about half of them, 6, are in Texas, and the rest are, for the most part, in conservative cities. Take a look at that.
So you have San Jose, Salt Lake City, Omaha, Pittsburgh. Well, Washington, D.C., many people would argue because there's been a surge in federal jobs there. You have Knoxville, Charleston, Houston, Austin. Of course, those make up the cities he was talking about in Texas.
But if you think about it, the election probably wouldn't have been won by the president at all if the economy didn't show signs of life. And if you look at where the economy showed signs of life, it was tough decisions made in Wisconsin, really tough decisions made by Republican governors in, I should say, Wisconsin, as well as Ohio, as well as Indiana and Florida, that allowed the budget to get in place and allowed the local state budgets to be cut, and therefore they began to flourish. Without that, the economy wouldn't have turned around. It would have looked like Illinois.
Sure. And so, you know, when you look at out of the top 100 metropolitan areas, only 14 cities have more people hired now than at the height of the recession. The President of the United States really should probably send a thank you note to Rick Perry. He should be following the Texas model rather than following Governor Jerry Brown of California.
You know, I remember Governor Christie was here, and we said, isn't it amazing what Governor Cuomo's doing since he came over? He said, forget about the millionaire's tax. He froze housing, taxes on housing, on real estate, and he started moving things in the right direction. And now he's gone back on all that. He's gone into budget gimmicks. He's allowed the millionaire's tax to come back into play. So I really don't see any Democratic governor out there who are doing some of the things that have found success with Governor Kasich, Mitch Daniels when he was there, and others.
And what happened to his poll numbers? Governor Cuomo's poll numbers have
they're around 50%.
And he's still sitting on a decision whether or not to frack, because apparently, you know, they've got studies that show that it is safe to frack, and yet he doesn't want to anger his left base, even though the jobs would certainly be welcome here in the Empire State.
And it would get anger Yoko Ono, and if she gets angry, she'll cut another album, which will disturb the whole country.